This is the Bobcat News with your anchors, Caroline Childers and Isaac Oland. Where every Bobcat matters every day.
Oh, namaste, Bobcats. Let's get right into this week's news.
Welcome, Bobcats. Here is a riddle. I make a loud sound when I am changing. When I do change, I get bigger but weigh less. When am I?
This week's feature students will be interviewed by Emery and Cassidy. Let's see who they are.
Hi, Bobcats. I'm here with the 4th grade feature student, Zelia. So, what kind of books do you like to read?
I like to read mystery books.
Do you participate in any after-school activities like sports or music?
Yes, I am doing soccer, and this summer I'm going to do softball.
Cool. What do you enjoy doing outside of school?
I like trying to get better at soccer and try harder tricks.
What do you like about Baldwin Creek?
That the teachers, they won't pressure you a lot like my other school. They would pressure me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Bobcats. I'm here with Paul Kistman for the 5th grade feature student. Paul, what kind of books do you like to read?
Historical fiction.
Do you participate in any after-school activities like sports or music?
No.
What do you enjoy doing outside of school?
Reading and playing video games.
Cool. What do you like about Baldwin Creek?
Smaller and more simple.
I would agree. Thank you.
Last week we talked to Miss McFadden to find out what is going on in 4th grade reading. This week Quinn will be talking with Miss Stephen to learn more about changes that have been taking place in 5th grade reading this year.
Hi, Bobcats. I'm here with Mrs. Stephen from 5th grade reading. Mrs. Stephen, how have reading changed now that you have to teach 3 classes?
Well, one thing that's changed is since I'm only teaching reading and social studies, Mrs. Ryder and I have really been able to spend time crafting and creating exciting and engaging lessons. And then we've got to spend a lot more time doing book clubs this year than we've ever been able to do. And we've really tried to connect our social studies content with our informational reading standards.
All right, thanks. Why do we need to learn these reading strategies you've been teaching us?
Well, all of the skills and strategies and concepts we've been teaching are helping you prepare for becoming lifelong learners. They're not just strategies that you use when you're in reading class, but they're things that you can use anytime you're reading a text. And so we hope that you're transferring the skills from reading class into anytime you're reading, and hopefully you'll become lifelong readers and learners and critical thinkers.
All right, why do we need to learn about our American history?
In 5th grade, we learn about U.S. history, and we get to study like positive and negative interactions among groups of people, and how small changes lead to big changes, and all of that learning that we do throughout the year helps you understand how in the United States we've come to live the way we do now. And so hopefully through studying social studies you learn that you learn about our history, and you learn the good things and the bad things, but you know that while we can't change the past, we can learn from it.
All right. What is your favorite part of teaching reading and social studies?
I'm really loving the book club discussions this year. I have seen a lot more kids getting excited about the books they're reading and having some really great conversations. So.
All right. Is there anything you would like to add?
Just keep reading. If there's a book club book that you've read or a read aloud that you've really enjoyed, to try and find books that are similar and keep reading.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Do you find that you are losing things and don't have very good organization? Finley will speak with Miss Welsh about keeping your belongings and yourself organized.
Now that we are moving from classroom to classroom, can you give us any tips on how to stay organized?
You bet. So, Bobcats, one of the organization is one of our executive functioning skills that we talk about. That's the part of the skills that we're using this part of the brain when we use those skills. And organization is an important one. Ways that you can keep organized between moving from class to class is, I know each grade level has certain ways of doing that. So 5th grade oftentimes has to bring their Chromebook along with maybe whatever their text might be that they're reading or writing pieces, so that they need to make sure that they have that ready to go before they exit the room to go to that next class. And 4th grade has their paper baskets, or their baskets that they contain their papers, their Chromebooks, and what other items they need prior to going to the class. So it's always a great idea to double check to make sure everything's in there as you need it. Yeah, and always, I think a good thing with organization is always checking your items and make sure that you clean stuff out, like your desk and your folders with items that you don't need. So always taking a little time maybe at the end of the week to go through stuff and get rid of things you don't need, as well as put things in the right spot.
What are some ways that being organized benefits our lives?
Ooh, I got some good ones for that. So some of the ways that it benefits us, I have a little list of some things I wrote. It can save you time. So if you're organized, you're not spending a lot of time looking for things that waste time, right? So you're spending time actually just getting to go do what you need to do. It can actually increase how productive you are. So if you have a lot of work to do, the more organized you are, the quicker you're going to get through that. As well as it can increase some of your time for hanging out and with friends and free time, right? So if you're organized and you get all your work done, it gives you more time to do the fun, exciting stuff that we like. It also can help decrease your stress. So when we're unorganized and we're busy searching for stuff and we feel hurried, that makes us more stressed out. So if you're organized, it can help you stay a little stressed. And it can also help with decreasing your feelings of like overwhelmed. So if we have a lot to do and we're very disorganized around what we have to do, if we get organized and have a system in place to help us understand how to do that, it can make us feel less overwhelmed.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Gosh, I don't think so. I think, well, one other thing, maybe organization is a skill that we have to keep practicing. Adults still have to do it too. But if you can get a system in place that works for you, so your system of organization might be a little different than mine, but whatever works for you, is what you should try to start to practice so that you can start using it as you move on into upper grade levels.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you excited about the snow? Grace will help us predict the weather for next week.
Hello, awesome Bobcats. Well, I'm back this week with the weather. For Monday the 14th, there is a high of 47 and a low of 31. It will be partly cloudy with a 3% chance of precipitation. For Tuesday the 15th, the high is 54 and the low is 32. It will be partly cloudy with a 2% chance of precipitation. On Wednesday the 16th, the high will be 44 and the low is 27. There will be a 32% chance of afternoon showers. On Thursday the 17th, the high is 46 and the low is 25, with morning snow showers and a 16% chance of precipitation. Lastly, for Friday the 18th, the high is 48 and the low is 25. It will be partly cloudy with a 21% chance of precipitation. Remember, it is snowy, icy, and cold. Bring warm clothes for the cold weather and remember to be prepared for any kind of weather. Bye, Bobcats.
Some sports are coming to an end and some starting up again. Tell us more, Nathan.
Hi, sports fans. Let's get into the action. Baseball is starting up again, and the registration night is March 9th, 16th, and 22nd. Be aware, you need a baseball glove and batting helmet. Many Bobcats may play. Dancers are dancing in Billings over the spring break, and the week after they're in Gillette. Softball registration is now open for all girls, ages 4 through 18. Registration will be at the Starrett Gym at 863 Sweetwater on Monday, April 4th from 6 to 7 p.m. and Tuesday from April 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. You can also register at the Lander Parks and Recs office or at the school district office. The wrestlers had a meet last weekend here in Lander. Brittany Gormley took first and third in different events. Tanner Guina placed second, third, and fourth. Wyatt Day took first and second places. Sawyer Francis got second, and Canyon Francis got first. Wyatt Philman got second, and Ryan Nicholas got first. Beckham Jacobs got first and third. Charlie Locke got first, second, and third place. And Logan Freeman got third place. The gymnasts have their state meeting coming up in Cheyenne next weekend. Be sure to wish them good luck. Thank you for watching sports. I will have more for you next week.
Spring is coming up and it brings out flowers and happiness, so Asa and Alex are going to start to do a spring craft, and when they are finished, we will be giving these flowers to residents at the nursing homes.
Hey Bobcats, today we're going to be making some paper spring flowers. What you're going to need is colored or patterned paper,
Paper straws,
K-cups,
paint to fade them,
clay or small rocks to keep your flowers in,
scissors.
and a glue stick or hot glue gun.
We're gonna start by cutting our paper into thin strips. Depending on how long or how wide you make them will determine how big the flower will be.
You can use a ruler to measure and cut the strips of your paper.
You can cut the paper strips out manually, or you can use a paper cutter.
To make your petals, you're going to bend your paper strips in half like this, but make sure that they're not creased, just like a leaf, kind of.
You can use like a little yellow dot for your center. Well, that's it for the flower part. The next part is optional if you want to put it in a plant holder. We're going to be painting more of the K-cups for flower pots.
It's going to take a couple of layers of paint, so you're going to want to start with white as a base
I
layer.
didn't start as white.
After you've done your white coat, you can start painting it whatever color you have.
So you're going to take a hunk of clay and stick it in the pot and just stick your flower in.
My fingers are dusty.
This is our
finished
flowers.
products.
Here are the reminders for this week. The melting snow creates a lot of mud. It is important to try and avoid the mud and stay off the grass between the sidewalk and the building. Please remember to wipe your feet before you enter the building.
Also, as the snow melts, we are seeing a lot more garbage on the playground. Please do your part in keeping the school clean and safe. Do not take food out to recess and throw any trash in one of the many garbage cans on the playground.
Follow all playground rules and procedures. This includes no tag on the playground equipment and going down the slide in a seated position. We will stay safe if we follow the rules.
Keep walking and running to earn those blazing Bobcat miles. Keep reading to reach your AR goal. Have you had enough time to think about the riddle? The answer is popcorn. It makes a loud sound and it gets lighter as it gets bigger. Chop, chop, lollipop.
See you next week, Bobcats. Ciao!